Okay, I learned how to do this a little bit better, so you guys are not going to go dizzy, hopefully, okay? I know it's not perfect, so let me adjust a little bit. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so, okay, first of all, I apologize. I can't be there. I have like family problem. So I need to, take care of one of my family member. So I seriously apologize that for that. And please email me or even call me. I mean, not call me, but email me and I will call you for any question. I promise you I will always reply. So we just finished the hypothesis. I think the second part I'm going to do is to let's go over the syllabus about the third exam first, before we go to the homework, having one thing at a time, right? So that's why the screen is saying disease caused by the fungi. We have 3 chapter plus that hypothesis and also the about how to read the paper. So sort of like a 5 chapter based on the exam. The exam is set on November 17th. I probably will be the first part in there, so you guys arrive early, like the same time. If you come in a little bit early, that will be fine and settle. And similar style exam, we have true and false, and fill in the blank, and a lot of the question, like one question have different part. In the disease caused by the fungi, and of course you need to know at least one disease that very detailed about the fungal disease. And so and you need to know the name of the fungal disease or fungi disease, the microorganism, and the symptom. And here, you need to know mycosis is always about fungal disease. And so these are one of the examples. So disease name is coccidomycosis, and then you need to know the whole name, Coccidioides immitis, and usually found in the soil. What is the symptom? Flu-like symptom, chest pain, very serious in AIDS patient. So this is one of the example. Okay, so you need to know the name of the disease and the disease caused by the fungi, and then and also what's the symptom. And okay, so you do need to know one example. So this is a very serious disease in HIV patient, and so you do need to know the name of this disease and also the fungal name, Pneumocystis tyricaria. This is what it causes pneumonia in HIV patient. Okay. Then this term is also very important, candidiasis. The yeast infection caused by the fungi Candida albicans. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit off the screen. Okay, moving it back. At least you're not getting dizzy, right? And okay, so pretty much on this chapter, you need to know ringworm is not a worm. We talked about that before. Now we're going into the other disease which is the worm disease. Similarly, you do need to know one of the diseases that's caused by the worm, okay? And the worm is the helminth, okay? So you need to know the name of the disease, one type of the worm, and then the symptom. So as for the protozoa, you need to know like a little bit about the Giardia, what are they infecting in, and the name of the disease, Giardiasis. Remember, Giardia is not a worm. The first part is a protozoa. So, and like the Amoeba histolytica, same thing. This is protozoa. Poxo is a protozoa, kept from the cat fecal material. Now, malaria is a very important one. So you must study the malaria very detailed, okay? You need to know everything. You need to know the word plasmodium. You need to know, you don't need to know all the 4 species. You need to know at least one of them, okay? How do they transmit it? What cell are they, affected? The clinical feature, what do they transmit it on? So this one is very important. Then this is one of the worm disease. So the disease is called enterobiasis. It's a pinworm infection caused by either one of these E. Gregory or E. vermicularis. And so you do need to know all this in detail. Like if I ask you one more, the worm disease, your symptom and everything, same thing as the roundworm. Okay. Now the third one, which is the most important one, is the HIV disease. So let me open it. This time at least you're not that dizzy, right? Okay, sorry. So one thing I like to ask, right? I always said that HIV, AIDS, what do they represent? You do need to know about it. This is important, you know, because a lot of people, they don't know what is HIV, what's HIV, AIDS. Okay, sorry, keep moving it. So we will not ask detail about the HIV molecules, but you do need to know two of the very important one. We mentioned GP120, GP41 are the very important one. These two you need to know. What is their name? What's their function? And then there's free enzyme, very important. And what type of cell HIV like to attack? Okay, which it would contain with the CD4 marker, T4 cell or T cell, and macrophage. And little bit about clinical, but the most important thing is some of these, like Kaposi sarcoma, one of the cancer that associate with the HIV patient or the AIDS patient, I should say. Okay, that is from actually caused or associated with human herpes virus number 8. And again, this is the repeat of the fungal disease, and this one cyclomegalovirus affecting the eye. Now comes into this is very important. You need to know the different phases of the HIV infection, which are 3 of them, and what are they doing? What is the virus, how much viral load in there, and how much the T cell there. So you need to understand this picture. We explain this, okay, in the acute phases. So the CD4 coming down but rise a little bit because you still can fight back, and HIV load come in and then decrease because it got killed by the T cell, and then slowly increase, and in the chronic phase slowly decrease until it become AIDS phase. Without treatment, it will get into a lot of the virus and very little of the T cells. Okay, AIDS in children treatment. The only thing you need to know, the name is ACT, and so I will not ask you like all the detail of the how do they work. Okay, so this pretty much of the HIV. And then we did the hypothesis. You do need to know, because we went through like very detailed about hypothesis. You do need to know what is like hypothesis, and of course you don't need to know about these socks, but you do need to know what is H0 and then H1. That's very important. Okay, and H0 have no effect and H1 has alternate effect. Then when we jump to the last thing, which is the how to read a scientific paper. Okay, so this one, you know that you need to know at least all these parts, which is very important in most of general scientific paper. And then, you know, how to write a scientific paper is not as important, but at least you need to know like what's in there. So that's the main slide that I'm more care about it. Okay, so that is the one on the exam, like in the on Thursday. Is it okay? Okay, let me see. All right, so this will be the second part I'm going to talk about. I will have the third part, which should talk about your homework of the hypothesis homework. Okay,